This is Gettin Real with Ashleydawn. I'm Ashleydawn, and I want to get real with you. This might be a quick one. It might not. We'll see. But I literally had an epiphany, and I'm like, the way to make your life easier, theologian, an incredible, amazing genius of a man, Bobby, my daddy, used to say this one phrase. Anytime I had a question, anytime I was struggling, if I didn't want to go somewhere, if I did want to go somewhere, if I was struggling with something, he would say these four words, and it would fix everything for me. And I live my life by those 4 words for that reason. When I would be frustrated, or when I would be crying, or when I would be going through something, I'd be, Daddy, I just don't understand this, or Daddy, I'm going through this, or whatever. And I'd share with him. He'd say these 4 words. And they fixed everything. Do you want to know what they are? Just be honest, Ash. Just be honest, Ash. Ash is what he called me. He's the only person that can get away with calling me that. Just be honest, Ash. I almost got it tattooed on my wrist, like coming down my wrist so that I would look at it. And I was like, no, you got it in your memory. You don't need it on your arm. But he used to tell me that all the time. Just be honest, Ash. I really struggled with, I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I didn't want to let people down. And so I'd kind of stuff everything inside and kind of try to process it and deal with it. And he'd just say, be honest. Tell them how you feel. Do it in a loving way, but just be honest. They can't be mad at you for being honest. I think about, relationships. Miscommunication is the number one thing that ruins relationships. One person's thinking one thing, another person's thinking another. That's why counseling is so crucial, because a counselor will sit there and take what you think and what your partner thinks and will interpret it so that both of you can understand it. Because really, a lot of times you're saying the right things, but they're just coming out wrong. Or you feel the right things, but you're just holding it all in. I posted a thing on my Facebook the other day that said, we're grown-ups. You could have just told me. You could have just been honest. I look at my life and friends that have said they wanted to do something and then at the last minute, flaked out on me. And I'm like, you could have just been honest and said you didn't want to go from the beginning. You could have just been honest and said that you weren't feeling it. I would rather, and I've said this a million times in a million different ways to a million different people, I would rather somebody punch me in the face with the truth than kiss me on the cheek with a lie. Don't tell me that you care about me if you actually don't. Don't tell me that you love me if you actually don't. Don't tell me you want to be in a relationship with me unless you actually do. Don't tell me you want to go do something and we make plans and then 5 minutes before you're supposed to be there, you say you can't come. But you knew the whole time because you didn't want to come to begin with. And I'm not singling anyone out because it's happened a lot to me from a lot of different people. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to do something, don't be scared that you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. Just tell them that you don't want to do it. I promise you, they'll respect you so much more if you're honest than if you lie. Think about relationships when you're strung along and somebody leads you on and they make you believe that they care when they don't. It would have just been so much easier to just be honest and be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this the way that you're feeling it, and I think we should just be friends. And then guess what? Afterwards, you can still be friends because you've communicated your feelings instead of holding everything in and then ghosting somebody or then not talking to somebody ever again. It's kind of like burning bridges. Honesty saves a lot of bridges. Ignoring people, leading people on, making them think something that's not true, not telling them the truth, that really burns a lot of bridges. It makes people feel like you don't respect them. It makes people feel like you don't care about them. When you're honest and you just say, hey, I don't really want to go to that party you invited me to. I really appreciate it, but it's not really my scene. They can't be mad at you for being honest. If you're, at a job and you're like, you know what, I really thought this job was going to work out for me, but come to think of it, it really doesn't. Thank you for this opportunity, but I'm really not enjoying my job anymore. Honesty will save you so much trouble, so much aggravation, so much frustration. Just be honest. Just be honest, Ash. In a relationship, in a friendship, working at a job, just be honest. Tell people how you feel. Tell people how you feel. Do it in a loving way. Don't be mean. The other day I was at dinner with a couple people, and they were saying some things that I didn't agree with, and I went back and forth. Should I just not say anything? Should I just be quiet? And then I'm like, no, I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to say my opinion, and they can take it, they can leave it, but I'm going to be honest. If somebody asks me if I like their outfit and I lie to them, that's not loving. If I tell them in a nice way and say, you know what? I like your other outfits better. I like the outfit you wore last night a little bit better than this one. That's a loving way to say, no, I don't. But you know what? I liked one better. And you say, well, Ashleydawn, you didn't say no. Well, you can say no, but just do it in a loving way. But tell them the truth. Let people know how you feel. If I ask you a question, I want your honest answer. I don't want you to fake it. I don't want you to pretend, like you feel something that you don't. I want you to be honest. And I want people to be honest with me. Like, I want to be honest with people, and I want them to be honest with me. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. I do not want to be lied to. I don't want to be led on. I don't want to be played. I do not want to be told that somebody can't wait to come to something, and then 5 minutes before they flake out. I don't want to be dating somebody for a year and then find out, you know what, they weren't really into me the whole time. Like, that's not fun for anybody. So if you're in that situation, or you are in a relationship, tell the person how you feel. Be honest, be kind, but don't lead them on. Don't make them think that you have feelings that you don't have. Okay, here's another one. If you are dating somebody and you don't want to be married, or you don't want to have kids, let them know that from the get-go. Don't just be like, oh yeah, maybe one day. No, if you really know in your heart of hearts that you don't want that, say it. Say it from day one, and let them know that that's how you feel. Nobody can be mad at you for being honest. They can't. Even if they don't agree with you, at least you were honest. At least you were respectful. I will tell you a story. So my high school boyfriend cheated on me, and I found out about it. And I asked him about it, and he was honest. And he said, yes, I did sleep with that person. And it hurt, but it didn't hurt as bad as one of my college boyfriends that I found he left his computer open one day. And this is back when MySpace was a thing. And I had looked, it was open, but I was being a little sneaky snake. And I had looked on his little inbox email thing. And I had seen some girls saying that they were out with him the other night, and they had so much fun, they can't wait to do it again, talking kind of dirtily. And I'm like, So I confronted him about it, and I was like, hey, did you go out with this girl the other night? Because I read something in your messages on MySpace, and, she made it seem like y'all were real friendly. And he said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I showed him the email. He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She's crazy. Come to find out, after getting to know this girl, after I broke up with him, she wasn't crazy. She was honest. And he did sleep with her and several other people too. Now, if he would have been honest with me, I would have had a lot more respect for him. But after I found out that he lied, I was done. And he was pretty much dead to me. Like, still wish him the best. Hope him and his, wife do great and wonderful, and I hope they stay faithful to each other. But I never really wanted anything to do with him again once I found that out, because he lied to me. Yes, things happen. Sometimes people do things they shouldn't do. Sometimes they cheat. I'm not saying it's okay, but if you're honest about it, it's a lot better than if you lie about it, or if you hide it, or if you say the other person's crazy when they're just being honest. So just be honest. Honesty will save you a lot of hassle. For instance, I've been doing, job applications, and there's been different questions on the application. Don't lie on a job application, because if you get hired, they are going to go back to that job application and be like, well, you said yes. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I didn't mean that. I just did it to get the job. You're probably going to get fired. If you lie on your application, you're probably going to get fired. If you lie to a cop, you're probably going to get arrested. If you lie to your wife, you're probably going to sleep on the couch. Lying doesn't help anyone. It just makes more of a mess. It's like, have you ever spilled something on the carpet, right? And instead of using like actually things that would help, you like rub it in or hurry up and like try to smear it around. It makes more of a mess. Like, I just think about Big Daddy, right? Little boy, what was his name? Julian, but he wanted to be called Frankenstein. He spills milk all over the floor. And Adam Sandler's character, I think his name was Sonny, just puts newspaper on it. Well, guess what? Yeah, the newspaper's covering it, but the newspaper is going to get soppy and wet, and the print's going to be all over the floor, and it's going to stink and smell like disgusting milk, like old sour milk, and it's going to make a bigger mess than it would have been if he would have just mopped that milk up or wiped that milk up. But he didn't want to deal with it, so he covered it up. A lot of times when people lie to us, they don't want to deal with the truth, or maybe the truth scares them. Maybe they can't handle the truth, and so they try to cover it up. And the problem with that is when you try to cover something up with a lie, it makes it messier, and you're going to have more to clean up. If you talk to somebody and you realize, like, oh, this isn't really going anywhere, well, then you can end it right there. But if you don't talk to anybody and you keep your feelings all to yourself, and then, a year or 2 years from now, you find out that person never really cared about you to begin with, well, then you got a bigger mess on your hands, because now you're more invested. Now you have memories. Now you have, different things, and it hurts. It doesn't feel good to be lied to. It doesn't feel good to be betrayed. It's not fun to feel any of those things. So being honest really saves everyone involved. It saves you. It saves the person you're speaking to. And here's the thing, if they get mad at you for being honest, they would have been mad at you anyway. Because the truth is the truth. Like, my daddy used to say, you can't unscramble eggs. What does that mean? Well, when you scramble eggs, they're already scrambled. Life sometimes is some scrambled eggs, and you can't unscramble them, but you can say, hey, those are scrambled eggs. You can state the obvious. You can be honest. And guess what? If somebody wants to eat scrambled eggs, they got scrambled eggs. But don't tell somebody, oh yeah, I have fried eggs. No, you don't. You don't have no fried eggs. You got scrambled eggs. There's a big difference between fried eggs and scrambled eggs. Just be honest. It will save you so much hassle. I look in the Bible, at Abraham. He lied to the king about Sarah being his wife. Almost got both of them killed. You look at, different people in the Bible that have lied about different things. David, when he had sex with Bathsheba, he's the king. He could have done anything that he wanted to. So if he told Uriah, hey, I had sex with your wife, I'm really sorry, he's the king. Uriah would have not been able to do anything about it, because David was the king. But David was so scared, he tried to hide everything. And guess what? He ended up killing Uriah, murdering Uriah. I mean, he didn't, but he basically put a hit out on him and told the army to let him go forward, basically giving him to the enemy to destroy. What if David would have been honest? I think about different things in my life if I would have been honest about certain things, like friends that said, oh, I want you to go here, and I said, oh yeah, I do too, and then I go to the thing and then I'm miserable because I never wanted to go in the first place. If I would have been honest, I wouldn't have had to go. But so often we don't want to make anybody upset. We want to make everybody happy. We want to do the right things. We want to say the right things, and we end up hurting ourselves in the long run. We do. We end up hurting ourselves in the long run. Let's just be honest. Just be honest, Ash. It saves you so much hassle. Just be Be honest. If somebody asks you a question, give them an honest answer. In love, pray about it, but be honest. Don't lie to them. Don't make them believe something that's not true. Don't lead them on. Don't play games with them or manipulate them. Just be honest. This is kind of a short one. It's 15 minutes, but I just wanted to encourage you. If you're struggling with what do I say? What do I do? How do I go about this? How do I handle this situation? Just be honest. Tell them how you feel. Tell her how you feel. If she asks you, tell her, say, this is how I feel. But don't lie. And don't hide. And don't manipulate. Nobody wins when you do that. You don't win. Because you're, getting ate up inside with all this, did I say the right thing? Why did I lie? Just be honest. It'll save you so much hassle and heartache. I promise. Just be honest. Be honest. Be honest. I am not in the right lane. I need to get over. Yeah, just be honest. That's my little tidbit of the day. Just be honest. If you don't want to go to work, still go to work. But if your boss asks you if you would like to leave, you can be honest and tell them yes. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, just be honest. Be honest with yourself too. And be honest with God. So many of us, try to fake it for God. God knows the truth. Like, who are we trying to fake it for? God knows the truth. I love y'all. God loves you more. You are seen. You are celebrated. And you are very, very loved. I'll catch you in the next one.